When shall we three meet again, in thunder, lightning, or in rain? When the hurly burly is done, when the battle's lost and won. That will be ere the set of sun. Where the place? Upon the heath, there to meet with Macbeth. I come, Grey Moken, Paddock calls, anon. Fair is foul, foul is fair, however through the fog and filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can report that seem his plight of revolt to the new estate. This is the sergeant, who looks a good and hearty soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend, and say to the king the knowledge of the broil, as they leave it. Doubtful it stood, as two swift swimmers do cling together, and choke their earth, the merciless Macdonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him from the western isles. Of kerns and gilloasses is it played, and fortune and his demand quarrelled smiling. Showed like a rebel whore, but all too weak for brave Macbeth. Well he deserves that name, disclaiming fortune with his banished steel, which smoked from bloody execution, like Valor's minion, carved out his passage, till he faced the slave. Wet he net shook his hands, no blade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from nave to the chops, and fixed his head upon our battlements. O valiant cousin, worthy gentleman! At when the sun gains his reflection, shipwrecking storms, and the directful thunderous break, so from spring, where hence comfort seems to come, discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark! No sooner justice with valour armed completed these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault. Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo? Yes, as sparrows, eagles, or hare the lion. If I say smooth, I must report they were. As cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe, except they meant to bathe in weakened wounds, or memorize another Galafa. I cannot tell, but I am faint my gashes cry for help. So well thy words become thee, as thy wounds they smack of honour both. Get him surgeons. Exit sergeant, attended. Who comes there? Enter Ross. The worthy Thane of Ross. What a hasty look he has on his eyes. So he look what seems to speak of things strange. God said the king. Where hence came thou, worthy Thane? From Taif, great king, where the Norwegian bandit flapped the sky, and fan our people cold. Norway himself with terrible numbers, assisted by what that most disloyal traitor the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till the Beradon's bridegroom lapped in proof, confronted him with comparisons, point against point, rebellious arm against arm, curbing his lavishing spirit, and to conclude, the victory fell on us. Great happiness! The now Sweno, the Norwegian's king, craved compassion, nor would we design him the burial of his men, till he disbursed at St. Columbus's inch $10,000 to our general use. No more the Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go pronounce his death, and then, with his former title, Great Macbeth, I'll see it done. What he is lot, no noble Macbeth hath won. Where hast thou been, sister? Killing swine. Sister, where thou? A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched, and munched, and munched. Give me. Could I anoint thee, witch? The Rumfell Ryan cries, her husband to Aleppo's gone, master o' the tiger, but in a sleeve I'll hid a sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do. I'll give thee wind, thou art kind, and I another. I myself have all the other, and the very pots that they blow, all the quarters that they know.
I, the shipman's card, I will drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live a man forbid. Weary 7 nights 9 times 9 shall he dwindle, peak and prime. Through his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempted tossed. Look what I have. Show me, show me. Here I have a pilot's thumb, wrecked as homeward he did come. Drum within. A drum, Macbeth dost come. The weird sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land. Thou does not go about, thrice a thine, thrice mine, and thrice again to make up 9. Piece the charms wound up.
Enter Macbeth and Banquo. So full and fair a day I have not seen. How fair is it called the forwards? What are these so willard and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants o' the earth, and yet are on it? Live you? Are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me, but each at once her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips. You should be women, and yet your beard forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak, if you can, what are you? All hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis! All hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor! All hail, Macbeth, that shall be king hereafter. Good sir, why do you start, and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or indeed, which outwardly see so? My noble partner, you greet me with present grace and great prediction of noble having and royal hope. That he seems rapt withdrawal to me, you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time, and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who you neither beg nor fear, your favours nor your hate. Hail, hail, hail! Lesser than Macbeth, and greater. Not so happy, yet much happier. Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail, Macbeth and Banquo, Banquo and Macbeth, all hail. Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Saddle's death I know I am Thane of Glamis. But how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief. No more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe me this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you. Witches vanish. The earth babbles and the water has, and these are of them, whether they have vanished. Into the air, and what seems a corporal melted as breath into the wind, would they have stayed. Where such things here as we do speak about, or we have eaten of on the insane root. That takes the reason, prisoner. Your children shall be kings. You shall be king. And Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so? To the self-same tune and words. Who is here? Enter Ross and Angus. The king has happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, he wonders, and his praises do commend thee, which should thine or his. Silence with that, in viewing or the rest of the self-same day. He finds thee in the stout Norwegian ranks, nothing aferred of what thyself did make. Strange images of death as thick as hail came post at post, and every one did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defence, and poured them down before him. We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not to pay thee. And for on earth's greater honour, he bid me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition hail, most worthy Thane, for it is vain. What, can the devil speak true? The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes? Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears the life which he deserves to lose.
whether he combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebels with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he laboured in his company's wrath, I know not, but treason's capital confessed and proved have overthrown him. Glamis and Thane of Cawdor, the greatest is behind. To Ross and Angus, thank you for your pains. To Banco, do not hope your children shall be kings. When thence those gave the Thane of Cawdor to me, promised no less to them. That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But it is strange, and oftentimes to win us our harm. The insolence of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you. Aside, two throats are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of the impartial tune. Aloud, I thank you, gentlemen. Aside, the supernatural listening cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest success? Commencing in a truth, I am King of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to the suggestion which horrid image doth affect my hair, and makes me seated, heart knock at my ribs, against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrific imagines. My thought, whose murder yet but fantastical shakes me, so my single state of man, which function is smothered into sunrise, and nothing is but what is not. Look how our partners wrapped. Aside, if chance will have me king, why chance may crown me. Without a stir, new honours come upon him, like our strange garments cleave not to the mould, but with the aid of use. Aside, come what may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day. Worthy Macbeth, we say upon your leisure, give me your favour, my dull brain has wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered, where every day I turn to leaf and to read them. Let us towards the king. Aside to Banco, think about what has chanced, and at one more time, the interim having weighed it, let us speak our free hearts, each to other. Aside to Macbeth, very gladly. Aside to Banco, till then enough. Aloud, come, friends. Is execution done on Cawdor, or are those commissions yet returned? My liege, they are not yet come back, but I have spoken with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like leaving it. He died as one that had been studied in his death, to throw away the dearest thing he owed, as it were a careless trifle. There is no art to find the man's conscience in his face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Enter Macbeth, Banco, Ross, and Angus. O worthiest cousin, the sin of my terrible gratitude even now was heavy upon me. Thou art so far before, the swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Would thou hadst less delivered, that the proportion both of thanks and payment might that there been. Only I have to less to say, more is thy due, then more than all can pay. The servity and loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your highness's part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne and state, children and servants, which do but what they should, by doing everything safe towards your love and honour. Welcome hither, I have begun to plant thee, and will labour to make thee full of growing. Noble Banco, that hast no less deserved nor must be known, no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee, and I hold thee to my heart. There I grow, the harvest is thy own. Thy plenteous joys, wandering in fretfulness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kingsmen, thanes, and whose places are the nearest, know we will establish our estate upon our eldest Malcolm, who we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honour must not uncomfortably invest him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers from hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you. The rest is labour which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing my wife with your approach, so humbly take my leave. My worthy Cawdor. Aside, the Prince of Cumberland. This is the step on which I must fall down, or else overleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at her hand, yet let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see. Exit. True, worthy Banco, he is full so valiant, and his commendations I am fed, it is a banquet to me. Let's after him who cares is gone, before to bid us welcome. It is a perilous kingsman. Inverness, Macbeth's castle. Enter Lady Macbeth, reading a letter. They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfect report that they have more in them mortal knowledge. When I buried and desired to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whiles I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before the weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to be the crowning of time, with hail king that shall be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightest not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamorous thou art, and Cawdor, and shall be, what thou art promised, yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full, oh, the milk of human kindness. To catch the nearest way thou should be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou wholly, wouldst not place faults, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou'dst have great glamours, that which carries, thus thou much do, if thou have it, and that which rather thou dost fear to do. Then wishes should be undone, hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valour of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical age that seem to have thee crowned withal. Enter a messenger. What is your tidings? The king comes here tonight. Thou'rt mad to say it. Is thou thy master with him? Who else so would he have informed for preparation? So please, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who almost dead for breath had scarcely more than would make up his message. Give him tending. He brings great news. Exit messenger. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan. Under the battlements come new spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of dearest cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no conspicuous visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect of it. Come to my woman's breasts, and take my milk of gall, you murdering ministers, whatever in your cital substances, you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pull thee indunced smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wounds it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark. to cry, "Hold, hold." Enter Macbeth. Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by thee all hereafter, thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future is in an instant. My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight, and whence goes hence tomorrow, as he purposes. Oh, never shall the sun that tomorrow see your face, my Thane, is a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Here, welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like an innocent flower, but be the serpent hunter. He that's come must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business to my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days come give solely sovereignty, sway, and masterdom. We will speak further. Oh, look up clear. To alter favour ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me. This castle hath a present seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses. This great summer the temple-haunting martlet does approve, by his lovely masonry at the heaven's breath, smells wooingly here. No jutty frieze, buttress, no coign nor vantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed and procurant candle. Where they most bread and haunt, I have observed, the air is delicate. Enter Lady Macbeth. See, our honoured hostess, the love that follows us, sometime is our trouble, which still we thank as love. Heinrich teach you how you shall bid God yield us for your pains, and thank us for your trouble. All our service, in every point twice done, and then done double, were poor and single business to contend against those honours deep and broad within your majesty loads our house. For those old and the late dignities helped up to them, we rest our hermits. Where the Thane of Cawdor, we coursed him at the heels, and had a purpose to his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love sharp as spur hath hopped him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight. Your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs encamped to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, sail and return your own. Give me a hand, conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and shall continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess. Inverness, Macbeth's castle. Enter Macbeth. If it were done when it's done, then it were well, it were done quickly. If the assassination could trample up the consequence, and catch with success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this bank and soul of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which being thought return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poison and chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust, first, as I am his kinsman, and his subject, strong both against the deed, then as his host, who should against his murder shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath
been so clear in his great office, that with his virtues will plead like angels' trumpeted tongues against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity like a naked newborn babe striding the blast of heaven's cherubim horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall bow the horrid deed in every eye, the tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition which overlaps itself and falls on the other. Enter Lady Macbeth. How now? What news? He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber? Hath he asked for me? No, you not. He has. He will proceed no further in this business. He hath honoured me of late, and I have bought golden options from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon. Was the hope drunk wherehence you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale? At what did it so freely? From this time, such I account thy love. Art thou afraid to be the same in thine own act and valour as those arts desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou seemed the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in an adage? Praise peace, I dare do all that may become a man, who dares do more is none. Which breast hath then that made thee break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you are a man, and to be more than what you are, you would be so much more than man. Nor time nor place did not adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and yet their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender it is to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I sworn, as you have done to this. If we should fail, we fail, but screw your courage to a sticking post, and we'll not fail. When Duncan asleep, whereto the robber shall his day hard journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains, will I with wine and wassail so convince, that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume, and the recipient of reason a lambic only, when in swindish sleep their wretched nurtures lie as in at death. What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quarrel? Bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber, and use their very daggers that they have done? Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our gifts and clamour roar upon his death? I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Anyway, mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what false heart doth know.